Countdown Conspiracy, Chapter 14, Part 1. It's like the speed of my thoughts is somehow influencing the speed of reality. The helicopter ride goes way faster than I remember from the first time. What feels like just moments after we've departed, we're already at the launch pad. Miranda, a voice calls as I go to leave the helicopter. I barely hear it over the roar of the rotor blades. I turn. Wearing the pilot's headset is Mr. Burnett. I forgot that all our professors were flight certified. That must be why he wasn't there to see us off. I step farther in for a moment to hear him better. Yeah? Do I have time to ask him about Dr. Schubert? I hesitate. Behind me, Najma waits. We're on a schedule, and I'll lose exam points for any delays. But if there's another attack planned, maybe he'll give me a clue. You're going to do great, he says, taking off his headset. Just don't let yourself get distracted. You're incredibly talented, even though I know you don't always feel like it. You can do this. I nod, sighing. It's just awkward motivation. Par for the course from Mr. Burnett. Thanks. I fiddle with the straps on my suit. Would you mind if we talked after the practical? You once said I could come to you with questions. Well, I have some. Mr. Burnett's eyebrows pinched together. Yeah, of course. Thanks, I say again. I wish that promise made me feel better, but I can't shake the undercurrent of worry. Regardless, I climb out of the helicopter and join Najma, repositioning Ruby to a more comfortable pose on my suit. We head into the building across from the safety bunkers. I try to force my mind to relax as we ride the elevator to the gangplank. Now isn't the time to be panicking. You can solve this mystery later. You've got an exam to complete. Settle down, concentrate, and prove to Dr. Schubert that you're not going to let him bully you out of the program. The elevator door opens, and I wrestle my fears into my brain's file folders as we march across the gangplank. Just like before, each footstep lands with a metallic clang, and the freezing wind threatens to blow us right off the walkway. We persevere, though, and soon enough we're at the door to Ambassador. Once we file inside, I climb the ladder to my seat, unhook Ruby from my back, and rehook her to the edge of my vertically tilted chair. Is this your mess? Anna gestures to several scattered tools against the far wall. I say, scrambling over to clean up. I pile the tools into their box, including the new handheld 3D printer that Dr. Bouvier lent me. Hopefully he won't take points off my score for forgetting to give it back. Ambassador, can you hear us? A voice calls over the speakers. Mission Control, we can hear you, Anna replies. I climb into my tilted seat just as the large metal door shuts behind us. The cabin door closes next. Commencing MCLC, the voice says. Then moments later, MCLC complete, commencing pre-flight alignment. Tamaki sits in the pilot chair, tapping away at the keyboard. Pressurization complete, he states, moving forward with our practical exam. Cabin air is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 1% water vapor. Confirmed, Esteban says from his seat to my left. Rahim on my right nods. Life support systems online. Najma, how many computers are running? Anna asks. 18 of the 26 main drives are up, Najma replies. Full power in 7 minutes. Good, Anna says. Miranda, begin diagnostics in 8 minutes. Anna is our mission commander for this practical, but that's a job that will switch for each exam we do. Her official role is planetary geologist and co-pilot. Tamaki is pilot and secondary flight engineer. The two of them sit directly in front of me. Rahim is our medic and also an engineer in his own right, specializing in life support tech. He sits to my right. Najma is lead programmer, and she sits all the way to the left, just to the side of the pilot seat. Esteban is both secondary programmer and our communications officer. He sits in a seat directly behind Najma. Copy that, I reply, bringing up my console. The screen flickers to life, extending in a curve around my seat where nothing but air had been moments ago. The glow of the letters is brighter than ideal, and I make a mental note to ask Najma or Mr. Burnett to recode the brightness when we're done okay. Beside me, Rahim brings up his own display. He's running back up to my lead to catch anything I miss. All computers online, Najma reports 7 minutes and 5 seconds later. Miranda? Anna says. I'm on it. I cut her off. With a tap of my finger, the diagnostic tests begin. I train my eyes on the flow of data as it rushes past me. Unlike last time, the tank systems and open-closed mechanisms are all as they should be. To my surprise, we're operating at full fuel levels. They're really going for a realism here, I say. We're at 100% fuel capacity. Awesome, Esteban replies. Who's ready to go to Mars? Our laughter is cut off by a call from Mission Control. Engineer Regent, repeat fuel assessment, they request. 100% capacity, I say. Are you certain? Mission Control responds. I review the data on the screen I've paused on. Yes? I answer slowly, glancing around at my crew. They won't abort our practical because of another data discrepancy, will they? I wonder to myself. I mean, it wouldn't be my fault. If the numbers don't match, then the numbers don't match. Please don't make me responsible for another practice exam cut short. Mission Control is silent for a few moments. My breath is held. I don't dare go past this data screen. Carry on, Mission Control eventually says. I let out a huge sigh, which apparently everyone hears in their headsets because there's a lot of nervous giggling after it. I flush and go back to my data reading. The diagnostic tests have continued without me, and I have some catching up to do. As I scroll through what I've missed, I'm amazed at how far we've come in 5.5 short months. Both our spaceplane and us as cadets. We're beginning to operate as a real astronaut team. An ambassador is practically space ready, if not Mars ready. I scrutinize every detail passing in front of me on the screen. I won't be the weak link. I'll be just as ready as everyone else. I won't be distracted. I spend the next 2 hours making sure of it. T-minus 10 minutes and counting, Esteban says as our pre-flight procedures wrap up. Final safety check. We all shuffle about in our seats, double-checking our safety belts and making sure our helmets are secure next to us. We've gotten permission not to actually wear our helmets during practical exam since they restrict head movement. I suspect Lizzie might have talked our professors into that decision. Confirm safety check, Anna commands. Safe for launch, Najma reports. Safe for launch, Esteban chimes in behind her. Safe for launch, Rahim says from my side. Safe for launch, yo. Tamaki pumps one fist into the air from his seat next to Anna. I finalize the closing of our orbital vent valves with Mission Control. Safe for launch, I confirm once the vents are shut. T-minus 9 minutes and holding, Esteban says. Even through the noise-reducing headset, I can hear our auxiliary engines begin to rumble. I hadn't realized they were going to actually fire them up. I was almost certain we'd just be getting cheesy commands like, engines on, from Mission Control. But as I flick through my console, I confirm to myself that yes, in fact, our auxiliary engines are firing, even though we're holding. Go, no go, Mission Control? Esteban asks during our designated pre-launch pause. You are go for launch, Mission Control says, and any worries I had about our engines fade away. Mr. Burnett did say they were trying to make this realistic for us, after all. I've gotten too paranoid for my own good. There's no way Dr. Schubert would risk danger to his spaceplane just to scare me off the mission. I need to settle down. T-minus 9 minutes and counting, Esteban says next. I run the wing flaps, coating them with the fire-retardant fluid that will soak into their insulating bricks as double protection for our flight through the atmosphere. Rahim checks their coverage next to me and gives them the green light when all is well. T-minus 8 minutes and counting. Booting up the secondary engines, Najma says. I hear another noise humming from our spaceplane. My stomach tingles with pride. I worked on those myself. Ambassador, this is Mission Control, a communication comes through. Abort mission. Repeat, abort mission. The stomach tingles stop. I freeze in the middle of retracting the tower arm. The tower arm, however, doesn't stop moving. T-minus, Esteban cuts off. Abort mission? He asked, obviously thrown. Why? Abort mission, the voice through the headset insists even louder. Explanations later. Abort now. Is this part of the test or something else? I try to recapture control of the tower arm. Is there danger? Raheem asks. Keep calm, Mission Control says. Just abort now. Wait, Esteban says. Why can't you abort for us? Don't you have control? Good question. I certainly don't. The tower arm continues to leave us, and without any command from me, devices continue to become launch ready. What's going on? We've been locked out, the voice says. Abort control is in your hands only. Locked out. My breaths come in short, small bursts. Is this a drill? Anna asks. We're T-minus 5 minutes and counting. This is not a drill. And there it is. This isn't a drill. It's a real problem, and no one out there can help us. Then you heard them, Anna says, her tone back to commanding. Abort. All 6 of us immediately go to work. My brain fires at super speeds. Aborting from inside the space plane. I try to recall the exact procedure. Everyone else is mumbling to themselves, and I can't concentrate through the headset chatter. Shutting down the main engine means first I need to override My screen freezes up the moment I finish entering the codes. Najma, have you locked us from the override codes? I ask. That's not me. I've been locked out of the engine spaceplane. She responds in a panic, her fingers typing furiously. I can see that her screen is frozen just like mine. I can't get in either. Raheem's usual calm voice quivers beside me. The whole plane's locked us out, Esteban exclaims, slamming a hand hard against the side of his console. I shake. No, Dr. Schubert wouldn't. He loves this program too much to... The thoughts loop on horrific repeat. Pilot control still operational, Tamaki says, but I can't shut down from here. What can you do? I ask him, powering up Ruby and bringing my head back into the game. Tamaki puts shaking hands on the flight controls. I swallow. T-minus 3 minutes and counting. Anna whispers. We're all silent then, except for the panicked chatter of mission control over our communicators. Something has taken over our spaceplane, and whatever or whoever that something is, it's going to force us to blast off. For real. Ruby climbs onto my stomach, reaching for my screen controls. She's booted into mimic mode. I've got one last idea, I say. Ruby's head swivels to stare back at me. If the computer controls are dead, maybe we can shut down manually. How? Tamaki rapidly pushes a series of flight-related buttons at the console. My mechbot, I answer. She can get into the wiring, short-circuit it, and cut our fuel. Wow. Won't that run the risk of us, exploding? Tamaki asks, still slamming his hands around the cockpit controls. Only a small risk, Najma says. As long as your mechbot is as good as you say she is. She is, I promise. T-minus 2 minutes and counting, Anna says. Do it. Send the robot in. Mission Control, Esteban says into his communicator.